Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning, and this is from Titan Books. And despite what that says, it is not a VHS, it is a book. And this is about Jack Corman is our main character. His father was Bob Corman, and he made this movie back in the 80s called The Shadow Glass. And it's this big, epic, heroic fantasy movie using some live actors and lots of puppets. And it flopped, but then it became a cult hit. And Bob Corman has passed away. Jack Corman has been estranged from his father for a long time. He returns to his father's home, and this is from the back cover, so I'm not giving anything away. The puppets come alive. The evil from the Fantasyland is going to take over London. Jack and his cousin and a Shadow Glass fanboy and some others are going to try to fight and stop the evil. So there's your nutshell, basically what's on the back cover. All right, so first of all, before I get into talking about the book itself, really digging in, this is kind of a love letter to things like The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, The Never-Ending Story a bit, movies like that. Really, The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. So, just to be clear, I saw The Never-Ending Story when I was young, and it was on HBO. Probably saw it once or twice. I did not see Labyrinth until I was in my late 30s or early 40s. So it did not have the impact on me that it did on tons of people who saw it much earlier in life. I thought it was fine. And I've never seen The Dark Crystal. So that's all out on the table. And the other thing, there's another book that I tried to read not long ago, maybe a month or so ago, that, based on the back cover copy, I felt had similar vibes to this book. I'm not going to tell you what it is or anything, but it was a little different. It was about this guy when he was a young teen, I think. He and his friends saved their small town from this evil. And now he's grown up, has a kid of his own, comes back to town. The evil is released again. He has to get back together with his friends. And like their weapons are made from old video games, systems. And it seemed very much to be riding the Stranger Things coattails. And I didn't finish it. I read a few chapters, and it just felt like nostalgia porn, as it's been called, and it didn't grab me. So I just didn't. I have too many other things to read. So that made me a little nervous then about jumping into this. I picked this up because it was recommended by Adam Caesar, or Cesare, as I like to call him. He has a YouTube channel, Black T-Shirt Books, where he'll review a movie and then pair it with a book. If you like this movie, you might like this book. And on one of his videos, he talked about this, so I picked it up. I trust his opinion. And so I wasn't sure what I was in the mood to read. It's like, that's been sitting there for a while. I'll just grab it and start reading it. And this is a good book, folks. if me just saying Adam Caesar recommends it wasn't enough for you, this book is fantastic. It's an emotional roller coaster. Jack Corman is an asshole character. It's a hero's journey for him, a redemption story. The fanboy that he meets, Toby, is a really fun. He's a mid to late teens, I think. Really fun character. We meet his friends. They have a whole group that's dedicated to the movie The Shadow Glass. And there's a human villain as well as the um, otherworldly villains. The fantasy characters are interesting, and uh, I thought it was fantastic. And without being a fan of the movies that this is a love letter to, it still hooked me. I did not want to put it down, and I read it pretty quickly because I just kept reading and reading whenever I had the chance. And it's I like that the what's the word I'm looking for, people? The way the book is presented, it's between each chapter there are these little things like um, pages from the original shooting script or transcripts of an interview with Bob Corman or correspondence on one of the Shadow Glass fan sites. So you have all these little real world things that are sort of informing the fantasy world of the Shadow Glass and how again, it was a big flop when it came out in 85, 86, whenever it came out. But now there's a huge cult following. There were comic books and a sequel story or a prequel. I don't know. It expanded in media, and we get little bits about that, and it's I don't want to talk too much about the story. It is, but it's just such a good story. I'll tell you, I'll admit it. I'm man enough to admit I get a little teary eyed. Very emotional, packs an emotional punch. Um, but the human characters, as flawed as some of them may be, are interesting. The fantasy world characters, the puppets that come to life, are fun, and they have different personalities, and the whole thing takes place a little over 12 hours, or not 12, excuse me, 24 hours. Um, because once Jack has discovered that the puppets have come to life and that this evil has bled over into the real world, it is one of those. It follows that formula, I guess. There's a time frame. This bad thing is going to happen during the full moon, which is tomorrow night. That kind of thing, which is a trope, but that's why it's in the book, because it's a trope of these movies, and it works, and it ratchets up the tension. Because we have that timer, and they're running around. They're trying to figure out what they need to do, what they need to get, how they're going to stop these bad guys. I want to talk about things that happen in the book, but I don't want to spoil anything because I can't. 5 out of 5 stars is what I gave this on Goodreads. I'll just have to trust Adam Seizure from now on. Anything he tells me, I'm going to believe him, because this book was fantastic. It's not something I would have picked up if he hadn't recommended it. I'm not sure I've seen it in the bookstore, and I don't know that I ever would have come across it just browsing through Amazon. But I'm so glad that he recommended it, and that I finally sat down and read it, because I loved it. Absolutely fantastic. The author is a pop culture writer, if I'm not mistaken. Contributing editor at Total Film, writer at SFX and Den of Geek. He's on a podcast, and I think this is his only fiction work. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. I looked for more on Amazon and didn't come across anything else. Kind of hoping he does more. I just want to see what he's going to do next. So I don't think this has been a very good review, personally, because I'm trying not to talk about things because I think you need to discover it for yourself. So really cool format for the book with the little interstitials or whatever you want to call them. It even starts, the very first thing before the story itself starts is a review of a new release of Shadow Glass on DVD and Blu-ray, and it talks about the movie itself and the extras that are on the DVD and Blu-ray. Then we get into the story. And then, like I said, between each chapter, we have, like, there's a transcript of a YouTube video entitled Crackers Corman MCM Meltdown June 2002. So it's something that happened at a comic book convention. And there's a transcript of Bob Corman, creator of the Shadow Glass, and what seems to be him having a psychotic episode. And then screenplay, excerpts from the screenplay, and it even has, like, little coffee stain. Someone set their cup down on it. So yeah, I like that. I like the characters. I like the story. It's fast paced. It'll draw you in. 5 out of 5. Highly recommended. All right, so that is my rambling review of The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning. Double check, from Titan Books, and I like the cover. The whole VHS makes it look like an old clamshell container. All right, question. You know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. Have you seen Neverending Story and or Labyrinth and or The Dark Crystal? If so, do you like them? Do you not like them? Can you name any other movies that would fall into that sort of category that those fall into? See, I think Neverending Story has fewer puppets. Dark Crystal and Labyrinth are very, very puppet based. But Neverending Story is mentioned in the book. So, but have you watched those? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Let me know why either way. I already told you I haven't seen the one. Haven't seen Dark Crystal. Labyrinth was fine. I like David Bowie. I like Jennifer Connelly. Although she was very young in that. And I saw Neverending Story a long time ago. It was fine. It is heartbreaking when, the horse scene. People who have seen it will know what I'm talking about. But let me know in the comments below. And if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All that YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been a very tired Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.